powerful passage of Scripture that we're going to look at today comes from the 14th chapter of Matthew. I'm going to begin in the 22nd verse. Immediately he made the disciples get into the boat and go on ahead to the other side while he dismissed the crowds. And after he had dismissed the crowds, he went up the mountain by himself to pray. When evening came, he was there alone. But by this time the boat, battered by the waves, was far from the land, for the wind was against them. And early in the morning he came walking toward them on the sea. But when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were terrified, saying, "It is a ghost," and they cried out in fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them and said, "Take heart, it is I, do not be afraid." Peter answered him, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water." And he said, "Come." So Peter got out of the boat, started walking on the water, and came toward Jesus. But when he noticed the strong wind, he became frightened, and beginning to sink, he cried out, "Lord, save me." Jesus immediately reached out his hand and caught him, saying to him, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" When they got into the boat, the wind ceased, and those in the boat worshipped him, saying, "Truly, you are the Son of God." I love this scripture because it makes me feel a little bit better about the times that I take my eyes off Christ. You know, those disciples had just seen Jesus feed a whole bunch of people with what was really somebody's sack lunch. And yet when Jesus comes walking toward them on the water, they're scared. They don't know what to do. And Peter finally figures out that it's Jesus, and he says, "Okay, I want to walk towards you." And as he gets out of the boat, he starts towards Jesus. And then the wind starts picking up, and Peter gets scared once again, and he starts sinking. And Jesus pulls him right back out one more time. That's what our lives are like. We have spent the last 6 weeks looking at, where did our faith come from? What is our story? And how can we share that story? And we also need to understand that there are times that we become disconnected from the mystery of our faith. We forget that Jesus is the one who calls us to come out of the boat and walk in the water with him. So as we conclude our time together, I would pray that we would begin to recognize the opportunities we have to tell our story. We would find the time to stay connected to the mystery of our faith, because your story has not been completed yet. Jesus, at the end of his time on earth, at the end of Matthew, gives what is called the Great Commission, where he says to all of those who are gathered around him to go into the world and to make disciples for the transformation of the world. It is through Christ that we do that, and it is through Christ that we will continue to do that. I pray that this study has helped you to connect with the mystery and the beauty and the joy of your faith as you continue to share that with all of those around you. God's blessings to you.